the first thing I want you to do is with your elbow partner, I want you to multiply these three expressions. I want you to multiply these two together. Okay, what strategy are you going to utilize? Okay. First, outside, inside, last. I would like you to foil these three.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Is this better?
Yeah.
Is it?
I can't see you. You're like, move. X squared minus 4. 2m squared 4m plus 4m.
Okay, first
minus m.
So x times x is x squared, right?
Minus 2.
Wait, is the first one x squared minus 4?
Yeah, minus 4.
4x
Not 4x. Negative 2x plus 2x is 0. So it's x squared minus 4.
Oh, it's a plus.
Outside on number one.
I wrote it back.
2m squared plus 3m minus 2. X squared plus 4x minus 4x minus 16 x squared. Drew, is this a test you failed?
Oh,
3.
in algebra I didn't fail anything.
You said yesterday that you failed this test, didn't she? Last year.
Let's not go around saying that. X squared. X squared.
I got x squared minus 16. 4x minus 4x.
I never been to
It's x times 4
I just spelled my name wrong.
Yeah, x squared minus 4. X.
Did you not?
No. I got it. X squared.
You didn't write it down the same as what I have.
Okay, what if you just go into it?
Tusks? They're called whiskers.
Down the whole thing, it's placed on his face.
Okay, I'd like your attention up here, please. I am really enjoying the fact that many of you are helping each other. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, I did not write number one the way I wanted to, but that's fine. Okay, so I have my first outside, inside, last to x squared minus 4. Okay, then I want to go to number 3, my first outside, inside, last, and we get to x squared minus 16. Are you noticing that pattern? Okay, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Okay, we have this one, first outside, inside, last. 2m squared plus 3m minus 2. Okay, now I believe yesterday we talked about what to do when we have something like this, but I want to talk about it again. If I have x plus 2, the quantity squared, what does that mean? This is not x squared plus 16. No, no, no,
That
no,
is
no, no.
x plus
X
4 minus 4.
plus 4x.
X plus 4 times x plus 4. It is multiplied by itself twice. 5 squared is 5 times 5. 2 squared is 2 times 2. So x plus 4 squared is x plus 4 times x plus 4. Now, stop. Stop. When we FOIL, we would get x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16.
Can I go throw something away out in the hall?
Yes. No, no, that's his.
He told me
To throw it away?
Smells nasty.
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna wash.
you know you can just wash.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay. Now, what I'm the most concerned about is factoring. Okay. For sure, you need to factor out a GCF first. Okay. What do I mean by that? Ben, I don't know if this is the most appropriate time to be doing that. Well, we can worry about that later. Okay. What do I mean by GCF? If we have something like 4x plus 16, 4 is the GCF and leftover would be x plus 4.
Wait, what's 4 and 16?
So these two terms both have a 4.
What is GCF?
Greatest common factor. If I factor out a 4, then that means I'm dividing it out. So 4x divided by 4 is x, plus 16 divided by 4 is 4. So now, if I were to distribute that back through, we'd get back to where we started. Okay.
Oh, I get it. Like distributed property kind of.
Okay. Now, after you do the GCF first, if there is one, then you need to look for two things. You could have a squared minus b squared. Like in number 1 and number 3, our answers looked like this. It's called the difference of squares. And this is always going to factor to a minus b times a plus b. Always. Okay. Or you're going to have like ax squared plus bx plus c. And you're going to need to use some logic to help you factor those. Now, this is something we were struggling a little bit with yesterday. So I want to go through some examples and talk through some strategies to help you. Okay. Okay. So our first problem, x squared plus 8x plus 7. I first want to talk about when we're factoring and our coefficient is 1. Okay, this is when it's easier because we can simply think about what multiplies to 7 and adds to 8. X plus 1, x plus 7. If we want to check our work, we can FOIL x times x. It does not matter what order it is in.
So it could have been x plus x plus 1.
Yes,
There's a x.
the x does need to go first. Okay. I'll wait for you. Now, in this next problem, I have x squared minus 11x plus 18. Okay, I want you to notice that this number right here that we get from our last product is positive. But this right here, this is what we get from our outside plus our inside. So if our product is positive, but our sum is negative, what? Then we have x minus and x minus. Okay. Our product is positive, but our sum is negative. Okay. Colton, what multiplies to 18 but adds to 11?
But can you have addition first and then subtraction second? Like for one of those?
Yes, that's my next example. What?
Oh, because you do negative.
So this is negative 2x plus negative 9x to combine to be 11x.
What if like they don't like pretend on number 2 the last number is 19?
Then we wouldn't be able to factor it.
So on the test.
Okay, now Colton, what?
What is the test? On the board.
You have a gold sheet that tells you when everything is. Okay, so here's the thing, people. You have a gold sheet that tells you the order in which we do things, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. So right now, you know.
It's on day 14.
Okay. So the 14th day of school. So today's day 2. When we get to day 14, that's our test. There were 6 people who left their gold sheets in here yesterday.
Oh, I didn't get one. So.
Where are we, chapter 10?
I wasn't here.
So you weren't one of the people who left it on their desk yesterday.
Well, I but you thought. I did have to purchase.
I was more frustrated about you interjecting when I was trying to talk without like raising your hand. Okay. Colton was worried about an example where we had like a negative product. So here, our last product is negative, which means one of these is going to be positive and one of them is going to be negative. So we need to think about 2 numbers that multiply to 18, one positive, one negative, but they're going to add to a positive 3. A positive 6 and a negative 3. Okay.
Negative 3 plus 6.
Okay. So now I have x squared minus 49. Right now, yeah. Okay. Now I have x squared minus 49. Okay, do you notice how this is only 2 terms? Okay. And it's a square minus a square. X plus 7, x minus 7. It's that difference of squares I had you write down. A squared minus b squared factors to a plus b times a minus b. Because when we FOIL, they're going to cancel out. Okay. All right, so how about this one? What if we had 36x squared minus 121?
11 and 11.
Okay, good. If you are not writing this down, you are doing yourself a major disservice. Nope. You choose not to pay attention the first time. It is not my problem right now. All right, now, this next problem. What is the first thing I told you to look for? Do we have a greatest common factor? What is it? It's 5. And when we divide out that 5, we have x squared plus 11x plus 10. Don't shout out, please. Don't. No noise. No noise. Jonah, what multiplies to 10 but adds to 11? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now we're going to put our thinking caps on. Yes, Colton.
That third step.
I took this guy right here and I factored it to where I'm looking for what multiplies to 10 and adds to 11. Jake. What? Because if I were to FOIL this out, this product plus this product has to get me back to here. So 1x plus 10x adds to be 11.
Would you like lose points here and go back to it the other way to get 5x plus 5 times x plus 10?
So we're gonna eventually go to solve. And so you're gonna get the same answer when you solve no matter what. You're just creating more work for yourself if you don't get that GCF out. Okay, it's gonna take you a lot longer to figure out the factoring. Okay, now write down this number 7. Okay, when our leading coefficient is not 1, we're gonna have to be a little bit more patient. Okay, we know that our first product needs to be 5x squared. So I'm gonna choose 5x and x. I just really need you to be quiet right now. Okay. Now, I know that we need to multiply to -9. We have a couple options. We have 3 and -3, -3 and 3, 1, -9, -1, 9. Okay. Now, these two products need to add to be -12. So if I do -3 and +3, I get a -3x and a +15x. Do those add to be -12? They add to be +12. So we can flip the sign. This is positive, this is negative, and now we're good to go.
Negative positive 15x.
What?
Negative positive 15x.
That's a negative.
Okay, how does that work? Like once you got that, like how?
If we FOIL this out, we get back to here.
Yeah.
So my first product is 5x squared. My inside is 3x. My outside is -15x. And my last is -9. Yep. Okay. Now, I will give you 20 seconds to try to do this one. Jonah, you wanted to do one on your own. I think you can do it.
I can. I'm already done.
You only have one option to get 3x squared. What is it? 3x and x. You only have one option to get 1. 1 and 1.
How do you get
Okay, hey. 1x, 3x, and they add to 4x.
This is like too much like
Oh.
thinking ahead. Is it like a formula?
It's just gonna take us a while to do.
So unfortunately, you have to think a little bit. This is one of those things that you're just gonna have to use logic and you're gonna have to do some guessing and checking on. Okay. Now, what is the point of all this? Okay. We need to be able to solve a quadratic equation. So if I give you something like x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals 0, I want to know what x is. Okay. If we have a quadratic equation, we need to, number one, have it set equal to 0. It is. So now we can use our factoring skills. Do we have a GCF?
No.
No. I don't know why you need hand sanitizer in the middle of class anyway. Have a seat. Okay, I need, so since this has a leading coefficient of 1, these are the ones that go faster. Zach, what multiplies to 6 but adds to -5? -3, -2. So if we have a product that equals 0, we can say, okay, each factor equals 0, because we know anything times 0 equals 0. So I'm going to take each factor and set it equal to 0. So here, x equals 3, and here, x equals 2. Hold on. Ben.
Could you do like -6 and -1?
-6 and -1 would add to -7.
Like something like that.
-6 and
But that would multiply to -6. Okay? I am the only one talking right now. Tyler. Paxton. Because it's a quadratic equation. So if you remember back in those days, we have a parabola that is intersecting the x-axis twice. So we get 2 answers. That's what we're solving for technically. Okay. Colton.
Could I come in after school for test corrections?
Now is not the appropriate time to ask me that. And I've already answered that question yesterday.
I thought you answered that question for yesterday.
I answered it for today. Okay. Yes.
If you scroll a little bit. There's this one thing that we learned that's called like the line check.
Say if it's a function or not.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Now, if I want to solve this quadratic equation right here, can I right this second? No. We need to set this equal to 0 before we can do anything. So if I'm going to set this equal to 0, I would need to subtract 30 over to the other side. And now I've set this equal to 0. X minus 6, x plus 5 is what Tyler thinks. What do you think? Okay. So we are going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve.
Wait, so we could Couldn't we just skip those steps that are like and just do the end part where it's
Wait, so I can't.
You cannot skip any step that I have up here.
you can't just, why not? Like, why can't you just flip the sign?
Because we need this. Now, you can skip this right here. That's fine. But you need this to get to this.
But couldn't you just skip the, like, -30, so it's not the -5?
So you need to write that here, so then you can get to here. Because otherwise, you might forget to switch it, or you thought you switched it, but you didn't. Like, I don't want there to be that confusion. Okay? Okay. That's just number 3.
We're done for today, right?
Oh, this is, you know what? No. Okay, we're just gonna do this one. X minus 1 times x plus 2 equals 18. Okay, so x minus 1, x plus 2 minus 18. Now what? About the first time. I haven't foiled yet. Okay, so I had 2 factors that equal 18. We don't have an 18 product rule. We have a 0 product rule. Okay, so we moved the 18 over. So woohoo, we're set equal to 0. But we had to FOIL this out and combine like terms. So now we have a quadratic equation that equals 0. We can factor this to be plus 5 minus 4. Okay, so I am fine with you skipping the step and just saying, okay, x equals -5, x equals +4. That's fine.
Could it also be x equals 5, x equals -4?
Nope.